If you think about the experiences in life, how much are you thinking about it today versus how much you will be remembering tomorrow? Memories. That's going to make sense in a few minutes, because today we're going to talk about what your customer thinks about your sales presentation and what your customer remembers about your sales presentation. Well, welcome back everyone to another 5-minute sales training, where today we're going to look at what your customers think about your sales presentation. And to do that, I want you to think about an experience that you've had. Could be a vacation, might be a nice dinner, even just a pleasant conversation with a friend.
Really enjoy these little talks we have.
Now, my wife and I, we recently celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary at a local restaurant called Josephine's. It was outstanding. The food, service, the company, the wine.
So good.
But the question is, what do I think about that experience today? I mean, that was over a month ago. The only thing I can think about that experience today is that which I remember. You see, there are really two selves involved in any experience. There is the experiencing self that we experience in the moment, and then there is the remembering self. So when you think about a vacation or a nice meal you had or a great conversation, there's what you experience in real time, and then there's what you remember afterwards. So let's have you illustrate this. Tell me about your last great meal in the comments below. But then think specifically about what made that meal so memorable. Now, what does this have to do with sales? A lot, actually. You see, it would be nice to think that anyone who is ever going to buy is going to buy the moment that that emotion is really high, right there on the spot. The reality is that a majority of customers will have to think about it.
I need to think.
About what?
And this is where their memory, the remembering self, kicks in. The customer's going to go through a sales presentation, they're going to walk away to think about it, and then eventually they're going to make their decision. But they'll make their decision based on the memories of that sales experience. Now, either way, whether I'm making the buying decision in real time, or if I'm relying on memories to make the buying decision, either way, I'm relying on my emotion. It is the emotion that drives the purchase decision. Dr. John Medina puts it this way in his book, Brain Rules. He says, emotions act like sticky notes that attach to experiences and turn them into memories. Let me say that again. Emotions act as sticky notes that attach to experiences and turn them into memories. So when I think about that great 35th anniversary dinner, I'm left to be thinking about the emotions that made that evening memorable. The emotion of talking to the chef, the emotion of spending a romantic evening with my wife, the emotion of what it was like to savor some of the best food I've tasted in a long time. Now, I don't remember every detail about the experience. I just remember the emotional moments in the experience. So the question for us then is, how do we gain more emotional involvement? And I want to make 3 suggestions to you. First, strike while the emotional iron is hot. Like when you see your customer's eyes light up when you're explaining something. When you see that that's meaningful to the customer, use that opportunity to slow down and let them live in that just a little bit. And that leads us to the second suggestion: give them time to internalize a benefit. Too often, salespeople make the mistake of rushing through the presentation. Here's a feature, there's a feature, everywhere there's a feature. And then we don't give the customer the time to really think about how this is going to improve their life. We don't give them time to internalize all of that. The third suggestion would be to ask agreement questions all along the way. You see, customers don't just want to make one big decision. It's much easier to make that big decision if you've already made a series of small decisions. You see, each of those yeses along the way is rooted in emotion. I like this. That works for me. I appreciate this over here. The overwhelming majority of salespeople downplay the importance of emotion. They think it's all about the features and the price point and the way we structure the deal. But I can tell you, according to science, because science, people make decisions based on their emotions. It's time to make sure that we are selling the way that our buyers want to buy. Hey, thanks for watching today's 5-minute sales training. If you haven't heard about the new app, Sales 365, join the community. Download it at your app store or go over to sales365.io. We're turning top 10%ers into top 1%ers, and we want you to come along. Until next time, learn more to earn more.